Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks very much for having me again at Beaver Creek. I can't tell you how gutted I am not to be there, second year in a row, but unfortunately locked in the penal colony down here in Australia, we're still not allowed out. I would like to give you a very short update on Rex Minerals. I'm the CEO, Richard Laufmann, and just take you through what's happened in the last year, where we're at and where we're headed. Now, I'm well aware that this is a precious metals conference, and I'm a big fan of gold. We have a fantastic gold project, but we also were built on a copper gold project in South Australia. So I will give you a little overview. So what is Rex Minerals? Well, I call it a 2-for-1 company. We're an Australian ASX listed company. We have the Hillside project, which was first discovery hole into 2009 roughly in South Australia. It is now a 2 million tonne copper resource with a 1 million tonne copper reserve. We have gone through all of our licenses and permits and approvals, state and federal. We are now shovel ready and we're looking for financing. We're currently completing that component of the work, and we've recently raised $50 million, and we're putting that to the pre-development phase of the project. Part of that US $410 million, that is roughly the capital bill for the project build. What may be of more interest to you is a very recent discovery, if you like, a reinvestment in an area that was long forgotten called Hog Ranch in Nevada. When we acquired it, we were quite hopeful of bringing forward a small gold project that could fund the company. It's turning into be something much, much larger, and I will obviously focus on that and talk to you about it. But if you allow me, I'd just like to start by giving you a little overview and a taste of Hillside, because what it means and why, well, I think most people are familiar with the fact that today copper is the gold of Silicon Valley. So it really is an important forward-looking investment. We sit on the Gawler Craton, which is Australian copper elephant country. BHP's large Olympic Dam and Oz Minerals' Prominent Hill and Carrapateena sit there. We're on that eastern limb of the Gawler. We're down on the York Peninsula, and we have a very dominant land position. The Hillside project sits on rather flat rolling hills, which is used for broadacre agricultural farming, and is one of the lowest environmental impact projects I've ever come across in my life. So it's a fantastic place to be. We own the land that we sit on. We are open at depth and along strike, and if you just have a look at some of the grades in this shot, you'll see we have 15 to 100 metres of truth at width at grades from 0.66 up to nearly 3% copper, with gold grades approaching half a gram and very high iron ore component as well. So this is an IOCG deposit. We already have a stage 1 plan that we're preparing to develop now, which is the first 13 years. Our mining reserve goes out to 30 years. And we're looking at some interesting upside to this project, as you can see from this. What does it look like within Australia? Well, this is a low-risk project, but take a look. Rex Minerals, 1 million tonne reserve, stands above all the peers in the country, outside, of course, of BHP's Olympic Dam and Oz Minerals. So it's a great project in a great place, and it's been through 2 feasibility studies to get to its final resting place and being ready to go. It operates in the lowest cash quartile. It has a low capital intensity, which means we don't have to put carbon into the atmosphere to build roads, highways, ports, power stations, etc. And we're running largely off a grid that is 60% renewable already in South Australia. So a great place to be. And if you look at it as an investor, we are not in an AK-47 country. We're in South Australia, number 7 on the Fraser Institute survey. We have completed the feasibility study. We have completed the permitting. We have more than 10 years of life. We have a low capital build price, and we get this asset away There is no comparable asset that I'm aware of in any sensible place to be developing copper project. So that's a little ball terror there that underwrites the company and the company's valuation. But if we now have a look at Hog Ranch in Nevada, there's a photo that I took of one of the pits that was left behind. Now, Western Mining, an Australian company that I was the head of the gold group of, operated this between 88 and 92, and I knew its general manager. We had expectations at the bottom of this pit that there might be some extensions left behind because Western Mining operated it when it was about $400 an ounce. Little did we know what we were going to expect or what we could find. That was in August 2019. For less than $1 an ounce, we've now added 2.2 million ounces to the resource, and over 500,000 of those ounces are in indicated. And for the North Americans, an indicated ounce under JORC is something that with a pre-feasibility can be converted to a reserve ounce. So we have grown both the reserve category of ounces and the resource category rapidly, but that's up until March of this year. Things are changing for us rapidly at Hillside as we put new information into the Go Bay. So if we just take a step back, this is not something that we were aware of when we made the decision to invest here. You can see these major faults starting out in the Pacific, right? These are running straight through the Hog Ranch property. If you then align those with the caldera progression that you see here on the far left of the screen, the Hog Ranch caldera, which is very significant, is the last one in that progression. So typically, that's where you get your precious metals. We exist along this significant rift, which is also another major feature. So if you just had a look at Hog Ranch purely as a academic exercise, you'd say the intersection of Hog Ranch on that rift and those major faults is a fantastic place to look. Along those faults, you can see the vortex 10 million ounce resource down here. Well, we have more than academic indicators. We have a lot of gold on surface that was previously mined, so we have a lot of information that takes Hog Ranch well past a technically interesting piece of the world. Now, if you just have a look at the license area we now own, when we acquired Hog, we only had the bottom area, Bells, and an area around Christa. Christa was where the old Western Mining had a few pits. Since then, Bells and Christa have turned from a twinkle in the eye into 2 million ounces of heap leach treatable material. And in the day, Western Mining got the recoveries up to 84%. We did some common leach test work and we were hitting 80% recovery within 22 days of beginning the columns. So this has expanded rapidly into a much larger license area as we've uncovered a lot more prospectivity on the license than we ever thought we had. And this really conforms to a number of theories and ideas about what might be actually happening here as far as a regional picture goes. If I just draw your attention very quickly to another photo I took of Bells when Western Mining left, this is what it looks like today. So you can see we go in from surface. This fascinated me early on because we thought we'd start a mine there very quickly. And we put together a feasibility study, announced it as a scoping study, and you can see very, very interesting economics, less than US $10 per ore tonne, total all-inclusive cost to develop, for an all-in sustaining cost of around $900 an ounce, 8.5-year mine life, very low strip ratio, 0.5 to 1, and great recovery, 80% in 20 days. So it's just a walk-up, easy project to do. This is an off-the-shelf costing. Caps Cassidy did the work for us on the project. However, things have progressed for us, and we're making some real headways in our understanding of the regional geology there, what's taking place. And we now think Hog Ranch has the potential to be a much, much larger system than what we had ever thought. This section just gives you an indication of some of the historic drilling that we inherited, these drill holes. And they're very shallow, around, let's say, 50 metres. And we've had to come in and put deeper holes in, angled holes, obviously using 30-year better technology or 40-year better technology as far as drilling goes. But we've also collected regional magnetic and regional geochemical and data, and we've been compiling a bunch of data sets which have really opened our eyes on what's taking place here at the Hog. So Hog's a fascinating story. It's growing quickly. Where does that leave Rex Minerals? Well, we've raised money and we're moving ahead with our copper development in Australia. The Hog Ranch project has just come along in leaps and bounds super quickly. And it's been an exciting year. Much has happened in amongst COVID. Had it not have been for COVID, we might have marketed more significantly as a company. But nonetheless, what is Rex? Rex is a 2-for-1 asset, really. You get the copper development story in South Australia, which is our bread and butter and our main focus. But now, for free in Rex Minerals, you get Hog Ranch. So let me just emphasise that for anyone who's listening. Today, the value of the company around 110 to 115 million US dollars, with around, that's enterprise value. We are worth about just north of 2 cents a pound of copper in the ground resource, or around 5 cents a pound in the ground for reserve. And the gold asset is for free. That gold is going to be worth quite a bit to our shareholders, I think, when it comes time for us to step out from the current structure and monetize that. Right now, we're planning to do some more exploration on it, and we're looking to see a drill rig back there in about 4 or 5 weeks. And we think it's a very exciting future for Hog Ranch. So remember the name, Hog Ranch, Nevada, Washoe County. We own the water rights, and we've managed to put 2.2 million ounces in the Go Bay for less than $1 an ounce drilling cost. So it's a really, really exciting project. Anyway, thanks very much. As I said, gutted I can't be there. Once again, hold out hope next year for being able to attend in person at Beaver Creek. Have a great day. Bye.